Since its beginning, media has been a one-way street, with all the images and flashing graphics coming at us like a fire hose of information from which generations drank daily. And then came the internet, allowing the audience to interact with the content that they view or to create their own. And in this ever-stepping manner of creation, we find ourselves on a new path, a place where you, the viewer, can determine the direction of our travel, a place we call Random Acts of Awareness. We're time travelers on the merry-go-round of life, the playground of ideas and matter mixed with molded clay and sand, a handful of minerals mixed in mostly water. We humans are upright standing fish evolving without gills, reaching ever higher into the water-like sky. We're mesmerized by our own minds. We plagiarize the same source. We all call it original.
Piece of American Indian wisdom for you. When you have cut down the last tree and you have poisoned the last river, you will know you cannot eat money.
I'm Paul V. Harris, author of Living Your Destiny, How to Get Everything You Want Faster Than You Ever Dreamed Possible.
Hello, my name is Stephen Hairfield. I'm also known as an American monk.
Is Mother Earth a conscious being? Well, how we think and feel tells us a lot about the state of Mother Earth. That which happens to our planet happens to us. We are one.
My name is Jordan. You may also know me from the channel TheRiffShaman on YouTube.
Have to heal yourself first. You are not your religion. You are not your country. You are not your race. You are not even your sex. These are false assumptions, not facts.
Hello, my name is Stephen Hairfield. I'm also known as an American monk. And the reason for that is because I studied with the Tibetans many years ago on the Mahayana Tibetan path of Buddhism. They taught me a lot, they showed me a lot, and gave me an incredible understanding of life. And it's my purpose and attempt this day to share in this video produced by InnerCircle Publishing my personal views of what was not only learned by them but realized fully by me at a later date. First question I'd like to address in this video is the Earth a conscious organism? Without hesitation, my answer to that is yes. And here's why that's shared with you. When we look into the field of atomic structure, we know that anything that vibrates to an extent has life. And because everything in our reality has atomic structure, that means it vibrates, that means it's alive. To the extent of Mother Earth's consciousness, that remains to be seen. But it's my sense that says she mirrors back to us everything that we do. If we look around us today at the world and all the turmoil going on in humanity, and then we match that to things like the geologic activity, the weather patterns, they all seem to interrelate. So in a sense, you could say we are communicating with Mother Earth and she's expressing back to us exactly what we are expressing and showing to her. So does the earth have consciousness? Yes.
Think of life as a pond, and think of every thought as a stone being thrown into that pond.
Not only is the earth conscious and responding to our intentions, every atom here is vibrating according to our perceptions. This is awareness. To know this, to know that we interact with all living things, that all things are indeed living. Every atom, every rock.
You know, it is amazing how our mind affects our environment. Have you ever been in someone's house and noticed that all the plants are just flourishing? That everything in the house is, all the live plants in the house are just growing well. They're standing up. They kind of mimic the person who owns the house. And if you noticed that usually that person that has a lot of good plants is a person that really loves who they are. They're positive, upbeat individual. You know, and that is proof that our mind affects our environment. If you look around the world right now, there are a lot of people in pain. You know, there's a lot of pain going on, and the world is reacting to that pain. You know, you see the tsunami in Japan. You know, the earthquakes that are going on. We've really had some amazing things. I mean, just recently in LA, there were a bunch of anchovies that came into the bay and died. You know, this is weird stuff, and I think it's attached to our personal state as individuals. You know, the masses are affecting the world with their mind.
Is the earth a conscious organism? Well, let's look at the relationship between sentient beings and the earth. We are all nurtured by the earth. There is a definite feminine quality from the earth, which does give all human life and animal life the choice of living. We experience our life because of the earth. We are giving plants air to breathe and water to drink. Now, this would give direct evidence that the earth is conscious, because why would the earth nurture us if it's not conscious? What is the point of it? If we come back to Darwin's model of evolution, then what we are is an accident, and we are just floating on this beautiful blue and green ball through space and time. This would be ridiculous.
Is the earth a conscious being? And if so, how do we know? Well, consider a moment how you think and feel, because the earth is actually a reflection of how you think and feel. Where's your focus of attention? Do you focus on apparent violence, contrast, or opposition? Do you notice environmental devastation? Or are you a person who focuses on environmentally friendly practices? What about your lifestyle? What kind of choices do you make? The earth is reflecting all of this back at you. It tells you not only how you feel about yourself, but it also tells you whether you love and appreciate everyone equally and unconditionally. Notice when emotions are triggered within you. It's all good, isn't it? It all serves you. Because when you react emotionally, what are you doing? You're recognizing that there's something within you that you're ready to let go. Perhaps outdated beliefs, perhaps attitudes and perspectives that you've outgrown. The earth is responding to you. It's sending you messages. In fact, it's an extension of you. It's a living, breathing being. Feel the earth. Ask it. See how it responds. You know yourself better than you think. You know the earth more than you realize.
And the whole idea is the idea of how everything is interconnected, interrelated, and basically fulfill the idea of oneness. What would we be if there were not a Mother Earth? Would we have life? That remains to be seen. So as far as Mother Earth having consciousness and being a conscious organism, to me there's no question, because she's always in a state of change, just like we as human are. We're always growing, so is she. If we look back through history, she has changed her dynamics in quite a few directions. That means she has life. Why? Because she is simply growing and changing the dynamics to support life. And we in return could indeed support her. So does Earth have a consciousness? Indeed. Is it the same as ours? That I honestly cannot answer. But I do believe it does mirror ours, if for no other reason, the action and activities of us, and along with Mother Nature herself. We cannot get away from her, and nor can we get away from, or nor can she get away from us, I guess is my point. The type of consciousness we have, or she has, is not as important as the fact that she does have it. Is she alive? Absolutely. Yes, she's alive. Let me offer you a simple supposition. We have blood that courses through our veins. Mother Earth has oil. Do we really know what that is other than a petrochemical? Is it a possibility that it's her blood? There is that possibility. However it is that you choose to look at that.
You know, it's kind of touched on in quantum theory that anything cannot exist without thought. You know, the quantum theory cannot exist without thought being a part of the theory. You know, the human brain affects everything in our world, and you really have no idea how much your thoughts and your mind and the way you think affects your world until you really start to pay attention. You really start to notice. You know, I noticed, for me, when I was in the past, a long time ago, you know, I was negative, I was angry, I was in pain, I was hurting a lot, and I tend to affect everyone around me. You know, just as today, with my positive outlook and my inspiration and my message of you can win, my message of inspiration, it affects everyone I talk to, everyone that is around me. You know, it really is amazing. If you really start to look at your life, really start to pay attention to what's going on in your world, and you really notice how your attitude affects people around you. I mean, it's amazing how just a smile can change the life of someone around you. You know, just a smile, just a handout, just a little positive input can make the biggest difference in someone's day.
But you have to realize the implications of these thoughts rippling out and affecting other, you know, swimmers in the pond, so to speak. These ripples can turn into waves, and if you're stuck in programming, if you're stuck in a lower vibrational state of awareness, if you're stuck in, you know, if you've got thought patterns that are self-destructive, continually running through your head, then you're going to be creating all these waves around you, and it's going to be hard to keep afloat. It's going to be hard to keep swimming.
The more time you spend outside, the more you realize Mother Earth is a conscious being. How do you choose to spend your time? What does that say about your connectedness to Mother Earth? Remember, Mother Earth and her state at least how you perceive it, is a mirror for how you feel inside. Every moment is a new opportunity to make a new choice. Consider how you feel about yourself, how you feel about others. Consider how you use your time. Consider your focus of attention. You have the power to change your mind. You have the power to step outside the mind. Every moment counts. Listen. Breathe in the air. It's all good.
When you start to observe your thoughts, when you start to become more aware of, your intentions towards things, your reactions towards situations, you'll start to notice how much more calm you can be when you just become simply aware of the thoughts as they come in, as they flow. Try and not be angered by the thoughts. Try to be content with, anything that comes up. Try to love the experience, no matter what it is, no matter if it's negative, positive, whether it's beautiful or whether it's, an ugly situation. Try to give it the respect and love it deserves for trying to teach you something. Try to be aware of, the darker parts of yourself, the darker things that may come up in your life as being lessons, as being tests. And when you overcome these lessons, when you overcome these tests, you get a magnificent feeling of, joy, of bliss, of peacefulness, when you have suddenly overcome a certain old thought program that is or was dragging you down.
Now, for some reason the Earth does want to nurture sentient life on this planet. There is direct evidence of that. So there is direct evidence of a conscious living organism directly there. We only have to have a look at the way that the oceans expand and contract. That is a direct reflection of something that is breathing, something like us that is breathing. Now, this brings us to, does our consciousness have an effect on the Earth? And of course it does. This brings me to some of the most esoteric teachings of all time, which were taught by Thoth of Egypt and Hermes Trismegistus of Greece. They expounded to their disciples 7 cosmic laws which build the fabric of the universe, the laws that govern the universe. I only want to speak to you about one of them today, which is the law of correspondence. Now, the law of correspondence, it does mean that what is in the all is in the many. So, like what Thoth said on the emerald tablets of Thoth, as below, so above as below.
Not only is the Earth alive, obviously, with all living organisms, it is life itself. But it's not just the organic matter that we interact with here. It's not just the plants. It's not just the animals. I want to go so far as to say that we interact with every atom here. That every atom is life. And that just as Mother Earth is conscious, and plant life is conscious, and animal life is conscious, and ultimately we are conscious. The real blanket of consciousness lies in every atom that makes up the matter of what we call reality. And I believe, according to the observer principle, that whenever we look at something, it changes according to our expectation, according to our perceptions of what we expect to see.
You can ask all these questions, and it'll maybe help you. But in truth, the only thing that's going to start fixing the problems is when you become aware that there are no real problems, that everything you experience is trying to get you to recognize your centered, infinite, everlasting balance point within your own soul, basically. You have to become aware that underneath all of this exterior, fear, all this emotion that could be dragging you in so many different directions, realize the underlying tranquility and love and peace that is constant in the silence, in the moment.
There was a time when you might have felt that the seasons were predictable, that the temperatures would change in a way that was easily foreseeable. And now you see them going up and down and doing things that are very much unpredictable. There might have been a time when your life was far more relaxed than it is now. Perhaps you feel everything is moving at an incredible pace. You don't have to live in the city to feel the acceleration. There's a lot going on. It's happening on energetic levels, but you can sense it in everything all around you.
We notice this happens in physics when you study waves of light or bands of light. The particles will change the way they are according to if someone's looking at them or not. I believe atoms and matter operate in the exact same way, and I believe this is why what we think happens. So not only does the earth respond to our conscious thoughts, the weather patterns, global changes and catastrophes that we're witnessing, not only do I believe that they are inextricably connected with our emotions, I think every atom here does the exact same thing. And I believe it's why what we think happens.
You know, and the environment is the same way. You know, if you affect one person, that a person goes and affects someone else. That person goes and affects someone else. And that collective positive energy starts to build on itself and grow, and the environment starts to pick up on it.
It's all emitting a tone and a frequency, a vibration here. We interact with it, it interacts with us. Our consciousness and its consciousness is the same. It's all this separation. That's the illusion.
Now this means what is within here is reflected back to us in the macrocosm. So the macrocosm reflects the microcosm. So when we look out into the earth at the moment, what do we see? We see a lot of so-called catastrophes happening on the earth, which is a direct reflection of what is happening within us. Not the earth in a battle with human beings. It is just a reflection. Because even on a physical level, what we are doing to the earth is we are destroying it. We are digging massive holes in the earth. We are draining the lifeblood of the earth, as in oil, for materialistic needs that we do not want, that only perpetuate the ego, the false side of our being. Now, this is a direct reflection, because what we are doing is we are taking so much from the earth. The earth is only reacting like an organism, but it is also our consciousness that is affecting that, because we are, at the moment, we are dark inside. We have to admit that. We can't get along with each other. Religions cannot get along with each other. Countries cannot get along with each other. Races cannot. Sexes cannot. So what do you expect the earth to do if one of its children are in battle with each other? What does the mother do to you if you are the child and you are not disciplined? It reacts. That's what we have at the moment. And especially in the West, we are so divorced from nature that we do not believe that we are part of nature, that we are separate from nature. Now this is erroneous. When we look at it, look on a physical level, our bodies are made up of the elements of the earth. But the consciousness of the earth is the same consciousness that is within you. It is eternal. It is a universal consciousness. So it brings us back to the macrocosm and the microcosm.
Does our consciousness have an effect on the earth and vice versa? Well, if we go back to what was originally stated, it would appear to be so. everything being connected into oneness and everything having vibration, everything is going to impact each other one way or the other. It'd be interesting to see as an intention experiment what would happen if all the humans on the earth actually became peaceful, not only within themselves, but with each other. After all, we're all just alike on the inside. The only difference between any of us is what we appear to be on the outside. That's the only difference in anything. And we can condemn that, we can uplift that, we can celebrate that. It's all in how we choose to have our experiences in our world. And in this idea of consciousness and our interconnectedness, and it's because of that interconnectedness that one absolutely is going to have an effect on the other. If we are in turmoil, as we are today, and then Mother Earth gets in turmoil, what's that impact? Simply take a look at Japan and the recent events that have taken place there. Now, take a look at the Middle East and what's going on in that part of the world. You mean to tell me that those two ideas are interconnected? Well, there's nothing that can say that they're not, especially if interconnectedness in the Eastern sense is real and the idea of oneness is real. And if we cannot get away from Mother Earth and she cannot get away from us, that automatically means, at least to myself, that we indeed are connected, one to the other. One to the other, and we do impact each other, and we impact each other in the physical sense of the word, the emotional sense of the word, and the vibration or the energetic streams of the word. And it's the energetic streams which are the most important. The material is just the obvious. And it's the energy that gives us that idea of how interconnected we as human and Mother Earth are. It would be my sense that if we would take care of her, then she would take care of us. And the question becomes is are we really taking care of her? I'm not necessarily an environmentalist, but I do love to plant and grow things. To me, that's nurturing the earth. And she's given me back my vegetables out of my garden because I take care of the plants in that garden. She takes care of them and sees that they grow. How can we separate all of that other than the idea of the actions of it? But it's all interrelated and it's all interconnected. But you see, it's up to us to come to that realization in a conscious sense that we are connected with each other. And I believe once we would do that, that we would treat Mother Earth in more of a sacred manner and not take her so much for granted. You see, if we're going to take her for granted, wouldn't it make sense that she's also going to take us for granted?
You know, it's our job as individuals to maintain a positive outlook, to do what we can every day to inspire others to be all they can be. You know, what are you doing today? What have you done today to inspire someone else? You know, it could be just a smile. It could have been a handout. It could have been just a compliment to someone. You know, the smallest things make the largest difference.
It'll be very obvious to many people that when they start to become more aware, when they start to love everything that comes at them, whether it be negative, positive, whatever, when they start to just be content with life and, roll along with things instead of shoving them away and saying, no, I hate all this stuff and get it away from me.
Is Mother Earth a conscious being? When was the last time you spent a period in a garden? Listened to the birds, saw the butterflies, the plants, the vegetables. Listen to what they have to say. How do you feel around them? Many people think they need to remember something, or they think that they're forgetting something. But consciousness simply is. That connection you have with Earth never falters. It is what it is. You are what you are. Go back to the earth. Get back into nature. You feel what makes sense to you. The silence, the sounds, they reveal all the answers. Things you already know deep inside.
So, can we interact with the earth? And of course we can. But to change the earth, we need to change ourselves. That's what we need to understand. So to heal the earth, we do not need to implement a carbon tax or a new geoengineering strategy that will somehow blindly keep us believing that we are separate from the earth when we are the earth, we are the universe. We need to understand that. We see everything as physical and as a separate. It's not true. We are the earth. Now, piece of American Indian wisdom for you. When you have cut down the last tree and you have poisoned the last river, you will know you cannot eat money. Now that's what we need to understand, especially in the West, because we have come to a stage where it has come to money over the earth. So what do we have? Something that is real, something that is tangible, like the earth, opposed to something that is an invention, which is money. That's what we've come to at the moment. That's especially our decision in the West. We've decided to choose money over what truly gives us life. And that is the food that we eat and the water that we drink and the air that we breathe from the earth, the conscious living organism giving us that. Even the manifestation of money is made out of paper, which is from the earth.
It is truly amazing how one person can make a difference in the world. You know, we've been programmed through media and through negative input, pretty much, that one man cannot make a difference. One person cannot make a difference in the world, and it's not true. I disagree 100%. You know, I can make a difference in the world. I'm doing it right now. I do it by just being who I am, honest and true. I mean, that's pretty much all anyone can ever ask, right? Is for you to be honest. What's going on with your trials and tribulations, with your whatever is going on in your life. You know, whatever pain. You know, I understand pain. I've felt pain. I've been prosecuted by society for being different. You know, and I know if you're overweight, you know exactly what I'm saying. You know, I know if you're black, you know exactly what I'm saying. I know if you are gay, you know exactly what I'm saying.
To the last aspect of today's video. How do we interact with Mother Earth? Well, I think if we look back historically, that's quite obvious at how we've been interacting with her. As we've grown in our selfishness and our self-centeredness, and because of that, we've increased the level of turmoil, the ideas of power and control, which takes beyond recognition of what we ourselves really are. You see, we were all created in divine substance, from divine idea and from divine energy, which that also would imply. So was Mother Earth. And if that's true, if by some reason that's true, do we treat Mother Earth in a sacred way? That answer is no. Do we treat her in a divine manner? That answer is also no. Do we treat each other in a divine manner? That is also no. But we could. It would be wonderful once more if we had an intention experiment of that idea, of living in peace and coming to realization of our divine nature. After all, it's my sense and my take by just observing Mother Nature that that's just simply what she's attempting to get us to do, to wake up to what has been. We know that historically, but wake up to the truth of what life could be. And I think once we do that, we come to the understanding of how we actually interact with all things. Because if Mother Nature, and in what she's doing now with the types of weather patterns that we're having, don't they mirror and reflect back to us exactly what we're doing to each other, exactly what we're doing to the planet itself? You know, she's strong enough to remove us all if she wanted to be. So my suggestion would be, maybe we should change how we interact with Mother Earth so that she doesn't expel us from destroying her, because she certainly could. We think we have all the power, but my sense tells me that is simply an illusion. Thank you. My name is Stephen Hairfield. You can find me at www.hairfield.com. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy this new documentary that InnerCircle Publishing is putting together. And Chad, thanks for the opportunity.
So it is the human beings which need to change, not the earth. Now, if you want to interact with the earth, you truly do need to change yourself. Because the earth, what we're going to continue to see is catastrophes on the earth, because we are not choosing unity over separation. Now, when we choose the unity, because we are united on one ball, that's on a very mundane level, but consciously we are universal. So we need to understand this truth, because if you want to heal the earth, you have to heal yourself first. You are not your religion, you are not your country, you are not your race, you are not even your sex. These are false assumptions, not facts. So if you want to see the catastrophes on the earth stop, then fix what's in here first.
Random Acts of Awareness is more than something to watch. And we ask you to get involved and help making this what you want to see. So what will next week's episode be? You decide. Leave your suggestions as a comment or tweet me at ICPChad. I'm Chad Lilly, and this has been a Random Act of Awareness. Thanks for watching.